Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Dip with Chelsea. For today's video, we are tackling the trendy pool water nails. We're gonna do this with just gel polish, with dip powder and gel polish, and then we're gonna do this with no gel. So let's get started. First up, we have gel only. So I have my new favorite gel base from Modelones. I also have peel base on my natural nails so we can crank out these designs. So we're gonna remove the excess on our brush and do a full layer on our nail and then cure for 60 seconds. Next, I'm going to use this gel polish shade from OPI. I got it from Beyond Polish. It is called I Am Yacht Leaving. This is with 2 layers. It is stunning. I also grabbed these 3, which I love, and I can't wait to use them in an upcoming video. Now I'm going to remove the excess product on my brush and do a thin, even layer across my nail, making sure I do not get this product on my skin. I take zero credit for this design. I've seen it all over the internet. So again, I have nothing to do with this beautiful trend, but I just want to mention I'm only going to do 1 coat because they do mention to do just a thin jelly look for your first layer of color. Now we're going to cure for 60 seconds. If you were doing your whole hand, you would go on to do the rest of your nails as well and then cure for 60 seconds. Now I've got my little palette here and I'm going to start doing some mixing. So you'll need a pure white gel polish and then a gel base coat. So I'm going to add a dab of my pure white gel polish and then we're going to mix it with our base coat. I tried this with a milky white and it just didn't give the same effect. So I do suggest going ahead and mixing it with a brighter white so you still get that bright white ocean look. So with one of my nail art brushes, I'm just going to grab a little bit of white and mix it in with the gel base, and then I'll add a little bit more as needed. Now with my nail art brush, I'm going to apply this across the entire nail in a thin, even layer, making sure I do not get this on my skin, and we are not going to cure this, so do not cure this. If you're doing your whole hand, I suggest working 1 nail at a time at this point. So again, don't cure, grab your gel top coat and you're gonna apply some to your palette. Then here, I tried a ton of different methods with this design and I found that using a nail art brush and scooping up a little bit of your gel top coat just like this, it's gonna give that water droplet effect, and now drop it onto the uncured white polish. Now you see it's instantly starting to give that look. You do need to move a little bit quickly because they are going to continue to grow until this is cured. So I just wanted to show you, you can go across the entire nail. You don't have to go all the way from top to bottom. So I'm just working my way across the entire nail, making sure I do this really quick before the bubbles go too big. If you want the bubbles to be smaller, all you have to do is just use less gel top coat on your brush. If you want the bubbles to be larger, then you can use more. When you're happy with how it looks, then cure for 60 seconds. Beautiful thing about this design is it's not going to leave an uneven surface. As you can see, everything has leveled out beautifully and we don't have to fill anything with our top coat. So we've got our gel top coat and we're going to do a thin, even layer across our entire nail and then cure for 60 seconds. That is it for our gel only design. You can also use other shades of gel polish. It's so versatile and so much fun, very easy to do. And now let me show you how to do this with dip powder underneath. I've finally restocked my Azure 2-in-1 dip powder liquid, so now I finally get to use them in this video. I really enjoy these ones. I suggest them all the time on my channel. They also come with a replacement brush. You cannot beat the price. Here are the 2 shades of dip powder I'm going to be using. It is Tiff and Reed from Revel Nail. You'll also need some makeup brushes for the tap ombre effect. I've got my base liquid here. I'm going to do a thin, even layer across my entire nail, dip my brush into this lighter shade of blue, and starting at my cuticle area, I'm going to tap it and then work my way down on the nail. So slowly just tapping, going side to side, and working my way down to the center of my nail. Then when I'm happy with it, I'm going to ever so slightly and carefully roll my finger upside down just like this and make sure that the powder goes back towards my cuticle area when I tap it off. That way it doesn't go to the wrong side. So now we're going to do the same thing with the blue, just quickly making sure we get it onto that free edge area of our nail and then tap it off. Also, you do not have to do an ombre for this design. You can totally do just solid color dip powder as well. Now we're going to do another layer, do a full layer across the entire nail, and we're going to alternate the shades. So start with the blue first, tapping it, working your way back and then tap off the excess when you're happy. I find that alternating the colors really helps give a more seamless ombre blend. Remember, we're going to be doing the design on top, so it does not have to be perfect, okay? So don't stress on it being perfect. Then tap that lighter shade on quickly before the base liquid dries. 99.9% of the time, I would tell you to go do a layer of clear, but we're doing some more on top, so I don't want it too bulky. So I am skipping that and doing activator now. After about 2 minutes have passed, then we can file and shape. Now, because we're doing gel polish on top, it's important that we don't buff the nail too smooth or the gel will peel off. So I'm going to use the 180 grit side of my file to smooth everything out instead of using my buffing block. Once I'm done, I'm going to dust it off. Here's how we're looking. And then we're going to cleanse with rubbing alcohol, not the second activator. So skip the second activator because we're doing gel polish on top. Now with my gel base, I'm going to do a layer across the entire nail and then cure for 60 seconds. At this point, you would mix your pure white and your gel base. I've already got some excess here, but if you haven't done this yet, now is when you would. We're going to paint a thin, even layer across our entire nail again. This is all the same steps as the gel polish. I just wanted to show you the process of how we can also do this design on dip powder. Don't forget, we're not going to cure this. Then we're going to grab some of our gel top coat with our liner brush and drop it on. You'll see this time I'm going to do smaller droplets so my bubbles don't get too big, and I'm going to work from top to my cuticle area down to my free edge. Again, this is going to vary so much on what you want yours to look like. If you want to do solid color dip powder underneath, you absolutely can. I just wanted to show you how fun this design can be with an ombre of dip powder. And depending on the strength that you need, if you need to add that layer of clear because you need the extra strength, you absolutely can. I just don't prefer the bulk on my nails. Now we're going to cure for 60 seconds. All right, it's time for top coat. So grab your gel top coat and do a thin, even layer across your entire nail and cure for 60 seconds. All right, y'all, that is it. The beautiful blend of dip powder and gel polish. I love that this design is just so easy to do on top of anything. Now, speaking of anything, let me help out my friends here who can't or just don't want to use any gel products. Let's put our gel products away and grab some nail polish. I'll also be using Tiff again and my dip powder base coat. So this is going to provide that blue base for us. Following the same steps, we're going to do a thin, even layer across our entire nail and then dip into the dip powder. Do this for all of your nails. This time I really loved the design, so I wanted it for each of my nails. Once it's dry, you can dust it off. Then for our second layer, we're going to do another full layer across the entire nail and dip into the powder. You can also do just a lighter shade of blue nail polish as well. So if you don't want to do dip powder, you can totally do this with just nail polish. Once it's dry, then dust it all off. Again, 99.9% of the time, I would go on to do a layer of clear. So if you need that strength, absolutely add it. However, I just don't want the bulk because we're going to be doing some more on top of this. So I'm going to skip it just this once. So now I'm going to activate. I'm going to apply a very generous layer of this to each of the nails and wait 2 minutes for it to harden so we can file and shape. With the 180 grit side of my file, I'm just going to go around my free edge first, and then I'm going to grab my buffing block and go across the entire top surface. I am not worried about perfection again because we're going to cover all of this up. Then I'm going to cleanse with some rubbing alcohol. So skip the second activator again and cleanse with rubbing alcohol. Believe it or not, this trend has been around for ages in the nail polish world, so I am taking some tips from the nail polish gurus out there. This is not my original idea, so we're going to use a darker blue. This is more of a teal blue across the entire nail of nail polish, and then with some plastic. I've seen them suggest saran wrap, so I didn't have any on hand. I'm just going to crumple up the edge of this little small plastic baggie, and we are going to blot it across the wet nail polish. I know this is going to be crazy and it looks crazy, but I promise you, trust the process of this. You can also put some latex or some tape around on your skin if you're worried about getting the nail polish on your skin, but I'm just going to clean it up with some nail polish remover later. I'm going to work one nail at a time, so applying my nail polish across the entire nail again, and then while it's wet, I grabbed a different piece of plastic, just experimenting, trying different things. I'm going to crumple it up, and then we're just going to blot it on the wet nail polish. It's amazing. Once that top coat hits it, I promise it's going to look just like pool water. I know this is not a design that's exactly like the gel polish, but I thought it was fun to mention this way, just in case you can't use gel polish. We could still have fun too. Also, again, you do not have to do this on dip powder. You can absolutely do just a lighter blue nail polish instead. I feel like by this point I was finding my rhythm a little bit and figuring it out. So we're gonna let them all dry. Once you're done, here's how we're looking before we go in for our nail polish top coat. I'm just going to use a little brush here with some nail polish remover to get all of that off of my skin. Now that my nails are dry, I'm going to use my nail polish top coat and just do a layer across the entire nail. This is when I feel like the design really comes to life. I would love to know from my nail polish gurus out there, what's your favorite nail polish base and top coat? Because I'm on the hunt. I really want to add some more nail polish content to my channel, so I'd love to know what y'all are loving. Once these are all fully dry, I add some cuticle oil, and here they are. I know, again, this is not a design that's exactly like it, but it's still so much fun and just so gorgeous. I hope that this shows my friends out there who cannot use gel or who do not want to use gel, you can still have fun and play with the trends too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to hear which one was your favorite. Honestly, I think the dip powder ombre one was my favorite. Thank you again for supporting my channel, and I will see y'all next week.